Hello, this is Lucretia with the Calm and Confident You podcast. Today, I want to share something that feels very real for me and honestly a little scary. I'm making a decision right now to reduce my hours at my hospital job, a job that has given me stability for years. And I'm doing it without having a guaranteed replacement for that income. And if you had told me even a year ago that I would choose to do this, I don't think I would have believed you. But something has been shifting, and I can't ignore it anymore. So let me tell you what's happening. Recently, one of our full-time counselors at the hospital left to go work in a community practice. And in hospital systems, positions don't just change easily or randomly. There has to be a reason. The hospital decided they didn't want to replace that role with another full-time position. And instead, we had another counselor who has been part-time and wants more hours. My position has been nearly full-time as a 0.8. And what ended up happening is that we were able to shift things around so the other counselor could move into a 0.8 position. I reduced my hours down to a 0.6, and the hospital created a new 0.5 or part-time position. So overall, the hospital actually reduced counselor hours. And for me, what that means is I'm no longer at the hospital on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, on the surface, that might just sound like a schedule change. But for me, it's something much bigger. Because I've been saying for years that I want to eventually leave my hospital job. And at the same time, I've also known that I can't just walk away. I have a chronic illness. I have an autoimmune disorder. I need good health insurance, and that's not optional for me. And I've been working with a business coach, talking about growing my private practice, building courses, doing coaching. But if I'm really honest, I haven't gotten to the point where that income is consistently covering my overhead. So I've been in this in-between place, wanting something different, but not fully able to step into it. When this opportunity came up, I realized this is it. This is the moment where I can reduce my hours, keep my benefits, and finally give more serious, focused effort to building my own business. Now I want to be clear about something. I am incredibly grateful for my hospital job. It has shaped me in so many ways. I have become very skilled at helping parents face the reality of what's happening with their teens, especially when there are high-risk behaviors or serious mood issues. I know how to walk into those conversations and help both the parent and the teen move toward necessary change. I've learned how to be part of a team that is both caring and firm, where we don't get manipulated and we stay focused on what actually helps. I've seen firsthand how powerful cognitive behavioral therapy and behavioral strategies can be. And emotionally, I've grown. I've learned how to hold boundaries without worrying if someone is upset with me. I've learned how to stay steady in highly emotional situations. I've learned to speak up, to trust my voice, to stand up for my perspective. And I've built relationships with people I genuinely respect and enjoy. But at the same time, there's another side to this. The environment is intense. It's often filled with anger, hostility, and resistance. Many of the patients don't want to be there. And there's constant turnover, admissions, and discharges. So there's very little opportunity to go deep or build something meaningful over time. And I leave work most days exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. It takes a lot of energy to stay steady in that kind of environment, to protect yourself from negativity, to manage situations where people are actively pushing back or trying to sabotage progress. And over time, I've started to feel like I'm not using the full range of what I'm capable of. I'm not able to be creative. I'm not able to build something that grows over time. I'm not able to develop ideas, lessons, or approaches that evolve. And I do believe that years of being in that level of stress has contributed to my autoimmune issues. So this is where the conflict comes in, because even with all of that, there's still a very strong voice in my mind that says, this is not smart. You have a stable life. You've made this work. Why would you want to risk that? And that voice is not wrong. There are real concerns. With reduced hours, I'm worried about money. I'm already not paying off my credit card balance the way I'd like to be. I have business expenses, platforms, tools, systems that I'm paying for every month. What if I don't get enough clients? What if my courses don't sell? What if I end up needing to fill all my time with counseling just to keep up, and then I never actually build the rest of the business? These are my real fears. But then there's another voice, and that voice says, I feel trapped. I can do more than this. I want to feel creative again. I want to feel energized by my work. I want to build something that reflects who I am. And maybe most importantly, there are people out there who would benefit from what I have to offer in a different way. So when I think about a year from now, what I want isn't just more income. I want a different feeling in my life. I want to be able to relax a little, to enjoy my time, to maybe spend money on something fun without stress. And I want to have income that isn't tied only to the hours I work. Through courses, through content, through things I've built once that continue to help people. And I feel genuinely excited about that. I feel excited about creating, about connecting with people in a different way, and having the freedom to follow ideas and develop them. And I feel strongly that there are people, maybe you, who are dealing with anxiety, stress, self-doubt, who could learn to feel more in control, more confident, more grounded. Now, I also want to say this. Doing this in my 50s feels different. I don't have the same timeline to recover from mistakes. My health is a factor. There's a part of me that wonders, what if I don't get this to work in time? And putting myself out there through this podcast, through videos, that's vulnerable. I'm sharing personal things. There's no guarantee how people will respond. And yes, I think about how I look on camera. I think about being prepared, being presentable. These are real thoughts. And when I really look at what failure would mean to me, oh boy, it's the idea that I would have spent years investing time and money into something that doesn't work. And then later in life, I feel constrained and regretful that I didn't allow myself more ease, more enjoyment, more experiences when I had the chance. But even with all of that, I'm still choosing to take this step. And it's not a leap, it is a shift. And that's what I want to leave with you today. You don't have to blow up your whole life to move forward into something more fulfilling. You can take a cautious risk. You can create a little space. You can start something on the side, especially now in the online space. If you had even $100 a month, there are tools available that allow you to build something, to share something, to create something. And honestly, even without that, you could start by creating content. You could talk about what you know, what you've lived, what you care about. And you might find connection. You might find meaning. You might find that what comes easily to you is something someone else truly needs. So here's a small step for you today. Ask yourself, what is something you could talk about for hours and not get tired of? What is something that feels so natural to you that you almost forget it's valuable? And just notice what comes up. Notice if there's even a little spark of interest or excitement, because sometimes That's where this all begins. Thank you for being here with me, especially as I'm in the middle of figuring this all out. And until next time, be well.